Yo, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to another video on YouTube. So a big thank you to everybody who watched yesterday's video. It's doing incredibly well. So there is life left in this old dog. So big thank you to everybody who's watched that video. Really, really appreciate it. And kind of Modern Warfare 3 is my probably last swan song on YouTube, unless we get a Battlefield announcement. But I think the next, I don't know, 6 months on YouTube is getting to the point that it's make or break for me now. I started YouTube, 10 years ago, covering Call of Duty, because it was a video game I enjoyed playing. Up until maybe Black Ops 4, even though I made some videos which are questionable now, looking back on Black Ops 3. Yeah, after Black Ops 4, I kind of fell out of love with it. Just skill-based matchmaking. I've done hundreds of videos talking about why, you know, I dislike a lot of the newer CODs. Obviously, the latest editions have got, like, engagement-based matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking. There's patents out there, as everybody keeps telling me. I say it wrong, so I'll say it both ways, because I can't remember which one's the right way of saying it. I think the next 6 months for me on YouTube is make or break. I'm getting older. I'm almost 40 years old now. I'm a washed-up has-been, and I don't know if there's any older guys who watch my videos. The older you get, the less energy you have. Like, I would give anything now to have the energy I had in my mid-20s, even early 30s, mid-30s even. But now as I'm getting to the back end of my 30s, almost 40-year-old, that energy's kind of on reserve. A lot of you know my history. My wife dying of cancer at, 36 years old, me being left with a 1-year-old boy to look after all by myself while working a full-time job and then doing YouTube as well on top of that. You know, it's increasingly taxing both on my mental health and physical health. I just haven't got the energy. You know, mentally I'm not too bad, I'm not going to lie. I have been worse than, you know, I have been obviously when she passed away and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, you all know about that. If you're new here, that's kind of a bit of a backstory for me. There's videos on the channel which will kind of explain it in more detail. So, yeah, Modern Warfare 3 is kind of a last hurrah for me. Obviously, there might be a game what comes out of nowhere what I don't even know about, which might, you know, change the kind of whole vibe of this video. Obviously, Battlefield, don't like how that's gone these days. I just think that Battlefield should just concentrate to be Battlefield. But anyway, that's another video. But yeah, for Call of Duty, especially Modern Warfare 3, I've got no kind of real interest in playing multiplayer anymore. It's quite obvious that the game is playing you. And when I mean the game is playing you, I'm talking about skill-based matchmaking, engagement-based matchmaking. Like I've said, there's patents in the game, which hopefully I've said it right, that actually adjust your gameplay experience based on various different factors. I'm no expert on this matter. I've done videos years ago talking about this. Exoghosts have done a few videos, a few of these other YouTubers, Foley and people like that, who just upload COD and nothing else. They've made much more informative videos on the subject than me. I've done them years ago where I researched it in quite a lot of detail. There's definitely algorithms in the background of this game which manipulates your gameplay experience. Again, Activision want to get, well, the ultimate aim of skill-based matchmaking is for everybody to have a 1KD. Obviously, when you get to probably the top 0.1% of players out there, they're that good that skill-based matchmaking will never work as intended. But for the average player like me, like most of you watching this video sat at home now, the matchmaking preferences can actually match you so you have a 1KD gameplay experience. And for me, when I actually started to play COD many years ago, like COD 4 for example, that was my first Call of Duty game. I don't know how old I was, maybe 14, 15 years old, I think. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, that was my first Call of Duty game, and I was absolutely garbage at it. I got absolutely destroyed, but I liked the game, so I continued to play that video game. And by the time that Black Ops 1 was released, I was actually a decent player. I could get the dogs. I could get the attack chopper. So, for me, the game didn't put me off. The game actually, because I knew how good the game could be if you became a good player, that kind of made me determined to continue playing the game so I could reap the rewards later on, you know, in my Call of Duty playing experience to get all the good kill streaks. Now, unfortunately, it's not just video games. Society in general now has the kind of participation trophy societal narrative. If that's right what I'm saying, do you kind of understand me? I can't think of the words I'm talking about. I'm not the brightest light bulb in the box, so to speak. I'm dyslexic as well, so that doesn't help. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's clear that Activision make money out of having these matchmaking algorithms in the background, because we all know what Activision's about. Activision cares about money. They don't care about if you enjoy the game or not. They don't even care about day one sales anymore. There's an argument that they could actually make the game free to play, like, you know, from the multiplayer point of view, but they're never going to do that because there's lots of bots out there and people who are just going to complain about a video game each and every single year. They're going to buy it. They're going to buy all the microtransactions. And ultimately, COD isn't going to go back to what it was when I enjoyed it. It's just not, you know. As much as, like, from Black Ops 4 onwards in the COD kind of timeline, I've always kind of said and campaigned for, like, please let's COD go back to what it once was. Let's get the basic formula, 6v6, 9v9, Call of Duty multiplayer. You know, ping is king, because back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of the older guys like me will know this, Robert Bowling and the team at Infinity Ward actually marketed their video game based on ping is king, connection is king. Everybody used to want to be the host, you know, of the servers because you get, you know, better connection, you dominate. Everybody wanted the best possible broadband to get that tiny bit of advantage. They even had the Christmas Noob marketing campaigns where everybody obviously gets the game for Christmas off the mum, dad, auntie, uncles, whatever. And they would actually say, Happy Christmas hunting noobs. You know, that's how the game used to be. Everybody, you know, had a bit of a laugh and a joke about it. But again, it comes down to the society what we live in, that you've got to hold everybody's hand, you know, say it's going to be okay, everybody's going to help you. And I just think it's bad life lessons in general. Why can't you be harsh and upfront with people instead of leading them down a path thinking that this is going to be how it is when you get your first job and you get bills and you've actually got responsibilities. There was a video going viral on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, a few days ago about this young lass where she just started a 9-5 job and she was in tears saying, oh my God, my life is so hard. And that's kind of the reality, you know. Youngsters are getting brought up with this kind of participation trophy mentality, but when the harsh reality hits them of adulthood, it kind of blows their mind mentally, and they're not mentally prepared for working a 9-5 job, travelling an hour to work each day, and then, after you've done all that hard work, hardly having any money left over, you know, to enjoy things. They say, no, I'm not seeing my friends, I'm not doing anything I enjoy anymore. Well, welcome to life. And ultimately, video games have gone and done the exact opposite of welcome to life. It's like, no, don't worry, we're going to make you think you're better at a video game than what you are, so you have more fun. And obviously, all this boils down to microtransaction sales. Call of Duty doesn't really care anymore about day one sales. They really don't. Yes, the game is 67, well, it's going to be $69.99, I believe, in the UK. Obviously, that's going to fluctuate depending on your local currencies. But ultimately, you're paying £70 for a video game where the video game is playing you. You know, it's not just a straight up, okay, I've got the best connection in this lobby, I'm going to have a slight advantage anymore. Even though people disputed that back in the day. But anyway, for the purposes of this conversation, let's just go with that. The game actually matches you up every single game. There's no persistent lobbies anymore. And that's ultimately down to skill-based matchmaking. It wants you to have the same gameplay experience as the lower skilled players, because the majority of the lower skilled players are therefore the majority of the player base who will be buying microtransactions. They will be buying all the skins, every single operator which comes out, which, again, this is how stupid the system is, that people buy operator skins you cannot see for 95% of the time you are playing. It's insane, isn't it? It really, really is insane. But again, can you really blame Activision for trying to make as much money as possible? They're a business. You know, they've got an obligation to their shareholders to make them as much money as possible. Otherwise, they could potentially end up in jail. So is it really Activision's fault? You could argue it is. Maybe they're being a bit too greedy, but again, if people are buying a product, they're offering people a product and they're buying it, you know, who's the real problem here? I've said for years that if you enjoy Call of Duty, if you enjoy what it is now, and you buy the skins, so be it, you know? Who's to tell you what you can and can't do? But on the opposite side of that, especially on Twitter and social media, that you see people complain about how bad the game is year after year after year, yet they're spending £5,000 a year on microtransactions. They've always got the latest skins. You know, they're doing videos about them. It's kind of like you come across as a complete hypocrite. You know, Call of Duty ultimately is never going to be what it once was. You know, gaming's moved on. As much as I hate to say this because I'm an older gamer compared to the majority of the youth of today, the youth of today would be pretty bored if they were just playing a 6v6 or a 9v9 multiplayer Call of Duty. They expect more content in the games now. I think video games in general have become closer to mobile games now with the monetization practices in them. But ultimately, we're still paying full AAA retail price for the video games. It's like the developers are getting best of both worlds. Again, I know this has been a pretty rambly video for me, but I used to love video games years ago, you know, across the board. Now there might be the odd gem what comes out, but I really enjoy. Like, I'm having a lot of fun playing Forza Motorsport. Starfield. There's lots of games I play, and I don't even bother putting on YouTube because of YouTube, as I found out very, very recently, is that I've got to upload content what resonates with my viewers. Otherwise, there's no point me uploading a video anymore. You know, when I started YouTube 10 years ago, or however long it's been, you know, I've built up a subscriber base, which most of them are dead now anyway because my channel's been, you know, around that long. But I've probably got maybe 1,000, 2,000 active subscribers. So if I make a Call of Duty video, I'm going to get 1,200, well, 1,000 to 2,000 views if I can get my words out, just based on it being a COD video or, you know, an FPS video. If I do anything else, I'm going to get 100, 200 views. So for me, the next 6 months is crucial. Again, I haven't got the energy I used to have. I've still got a passion for my viewers. You know, when a video does well, and I get all the interactions in my comments, especially my members as well, I love that interaction. That interaction keeps me going more than anything else. You know, money isn't what drives me on YouTube because I don't make enough money. You know, for that to be a factor, it doesn't affect my life. The money I make on YouTube, it makes a little difference. It's a bit of pocket money. And ultimately, the amount of time I spend making videos, it's going to be, it'll equate to maybe about £2 an hour I make when I'm doing a YouTube video. You know, so I'd be better off just getting another job in the evening. So I don't really do YouTube to make money. It's never been about money. Ultimately, the end game was it to be my full-time job. Obviously, that's gone now. I'm too old for this. You know, it's just that I said years ago that I had a goal of around trying to get to 100,000 subscribers and I could retire happily. That's kind of what I missed. You know, I really wanted that plaque from YouTube. You know, it's something I've done for a long time. So, again, I've got 6 months to put Call of Duty content on. Again, I couldn't care less about multiplayer now because of all the algorithms in the background. I know there's a lot of people disputing these algorithms, but they're definitely there. You know, we all know skill-based matchmaking's in the game. But I believe there's more predatory things in there as well. Engagement-based matchmaking where it modifies how much health you've got, your hitbox. There's all sorts of things out there. You know, there's loads of videos talking about engagement-based matchmaking. Go and watch them. They're very informative and you might learn a thing or two. So, yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. Now, the more I play DMZ, even though that's ending now, when Modern Warfare 3 comes out, again, it's still going to be available to play, but there's going to be no new content coming, which is a shame. However, that game is pay to win. Again, I'm not going to go over it in detail. Don't really understand what I'm talking about. But ultimately, I know there's certain operators in DMZ you can pick as a character, and they actually have like UAVs or something like that, for example. But the standard free ones don't have anything like that. So again, that's clearly pay to win. It's a very, very tricky thing that, you know, in a video game where it's a full retail price video game. But again, you know, it's clearly pay to win. However, the DMZ is getting replaced with, like, as people have described, a Warzone-style DMZ. Sorry, a Warzone. Getting my words muddled up, I do apologise. A zombie-based DMZ, so it's like DMZ, you go in, you extract, but there's zombies there. We don't really know that much about that, but that is what I'm essentially planning my future content on my channel around. Obviously, there's games like the Finals coming out, Ark Raiders, all these little bits and pieces around that will be, you know, additional to the channel, but I'm kind of hoping that 6 months, things turn around on the channel and it motivates me to continue to make content. Because, again, it is getting a bit dry. Video gaming in general, I just don't find it as fun as I used to. I don't know if that's because the games are getting worse. I don't know if it's because just I'm growing out of it. Now I'm almost 40. I don't know, guys, ultimately. But I'm just not having as much fun as what I used to have playing video games. Even if I go back and play the old CODs now, they feel a bit outdated, not going to lie. It was great back in the day when that was, you know, what technology could do at a max. But, again, now Call of Duty's changed. A lot of it is negative, in my opinion. Back-end things more than anything. It's not really the content, because I think the amount of content we get in video games now, especially Call of Duty, is way superior than what we used to have. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of the content is, in some cases, pay to win. Some cases, the content is locked behind a battle pass, which the battle pass systems in the game are intended to make you play that game and nothing else. They make the battle pass that hard to complete that they actually now offer a system where you can skip tiers, which costs you even more money. I just think it's a shame that that is in a AAA priced video game. Again, if it's free to play like Fortnite, something like that, I haven't got an issue with that, even though it is still a bit scummy, but you can kind of forgive that. But in a full AAA retail price video game, I just think it's wrong. But again, this is all my opinion. There's a lot of opinionated stuff in here, but ultimately, not got as much energy as I have as what I used to. I'm going to give it 6 months on Modern Warfare 3, see how we get on. Hopefully the Zombies DMZ mode, whatever it's going to be called, will give me content, which I'm going to, first of all, enjoy producing. Secondly, you are all going to enjoy watching. And then thirdly, it's going to help grow my channel. So yeah, I think old Call of Duty's gone. It's never coming back. Skill-based matchmaking is a huge problem, and that's why I won't touch multiplayer. And finally, guys, I've got no idea what I'm going to title this video, because I have rambled on for, what, near enough 18 minutes. So if you stayed right until the end, please type in the comment section, skill-based matchmaking sucks, and I'll thank every single one of you individually who types that in the comment section. Alright, take it easy all. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and if this video, I don't know, gets 15 likes, we'll do another one. Alright, love you all. Goodbye for now.